That is Earth Wind Moreland, the best name on the field. A pretty good football player as well. Corey Joyner, featured in that first drive, is flattened at the 1 by Tony George. Tony George, the sophomore from Cincinnati, a big special teams tackle that'll back Georgia Southern back into the shadow of their own end zone.
As a return man, you want to catch the ball and go straight up behind their wedge. Go north and south. You don't want to hesitate. In this situation, he doesn't get the opportunity. He doesn't get the blocks. Here he takes the ball. He wants to go straight ahead, but he can't get there. Number 1 comes down and tackles him. He's got nowhere to go. Outstanding kick coverage by the Florida Gators.
Carl Small steps into the Georgia Southern backfield as the fullback, replacing Roderick Russell on this play. Steverson and Joyner are the slot backs or wing backs. They've got a tight end to the right, to the left. Here is Robinson up the middle and nothing doing. Javon Curse is there for the stop at the 5-yard line.
Javon Curse wants to turn this ball inside. He wants to put pressure up the field. That's exactly what he does. It'll be interesting this series to see what defensive coordinator Bob Stoops comes up with. Will he have 8 or 9 men in the box to put pressure on that Georgia Southern offense? They haven't thrown the ball. They need to put pressure on this line. If they're going to run the ball every down, they need to get penetration in the backfield.
2nd down and 10. Here's the handoff, goes to the fullback straight ahead. That's Carl Small, the sophomore out of Tampa. First carry of the season. Ed Chester in on the tackle, returning starter for the Florida Gators. An experienced defensive unit. One of the best secondaries in the country. And a linebacking crew that's pretty good.
They showed that last week, coming up with 6 turnovers and 4 of those for touchdowns.
That set a Florida and SEC record, previously held by Georgia at 3. 3rd down and about 7. Georgia Southern trailing 14-7. Pass to the flats is complete. And it is taken out of bounds at the 21-yard line there by Maurice Bing. His 3rd catch of the season. Fred Weary, who scored twice last week on defensive turnovers, makes the tackle, but it's a 13-yard gain.
Maurice Bing runs about a 10-yard out pattern, and it's a timing pattern. The quarterback, Robinson, takes the ball and fakes it inside and just throws it in the area where he wants to throw it. They only threw the ball 7 times last week, but they completed 6 of them.
They did not throw the ball at all on their first scoring drive. In 14 plays, they marched 80 yards. They're 1st and 10 at their own 22. Robinson steps back, throws, guns over the middle to Bing again, but a flag is on the play at the 22-yard line. The reception is marked out to the 27. Could be a gain of 5, but it could get wiped out.
Georgia Southern goes to the well again. They had success with the pass play on the last series. They go to it right off the bat on 1st down. They caught Florida a little bit off guard. He said, what's going on here? They'd always run the football, and on this play, they come out on 1st down, throw the ball, completion.
Let's see what the penalty's all about. Talking to Georgia Southern, so apparently it's going to be against Florida. That's Maurice Bing, who's caught the last 2 passes, one of the tri-captains.
They're holding on the defense, 10-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
An automatic 1st down and an extra 5 yards on top of the gain, so that was an easy decision for Georgia Southern to make, and that pushes the ball out to the 32-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10.
He's probably holding on that play by one of the defensive backs because he couldn't believe on 1st down that they were going to throw the ball.
Hey, tune into SEC TV next Saturday. Your host Dave Neal will be at the University of South Carolina, bringing you the most comprehensive look at SEC football. Back to throw. Kenneth Robinson complete to Maurice Bing, his 3rd reception of this drive, and he's close to a 1st down at the 40-yard line. Brought down on the play by Lawrence Wright and James Bates.
I like the way Kenneth Robinson stands in that pocket. He always runs a play-action pass, and he's got a strong arm where he's just gunning it to Maurice Bing. Last time he can just go down the field with the football. It's very impressive. These guys aren't intimidated by this big crowd. Look at here. He's going to drop back in the pocket, left hand, and just slings it right out there in the middle of the football field. No Florida people around this wide receiver to make the tackle.
Robinson pitches to Joyner, gets a block from his fullback at the corner, and gets the 1st down. And that gets him out to the 44-yard line. We have a player down on the field for Georgia Southern, and it is going to be one of their linemen. That is Mark Williams, a redshirt freshman from Albany, Georgia, and their biggest offensive lineman at 309 pounds.
They can ill afford to lose any offensive linemen and any starters in this type of team. They don't have a lot of depth. When you've got your starters doing a great job, particularly on offense, moving the football, you don't want to lose one of your biggest linemen.
Mark the ball at the 44-yard line. Frank Elwood looking on. Frank's coaching experience, he coached for 4 years at Marshall and was actually on in the administration at Georgia Southern as associate athletic director. Not only is he now interim head football coach, but for a while he was the interim athletic director.
He's wearing a lot of titles at Georgia Southern.
And this has been a very successful football program, too. I mean, the guy that got moved out, Tim Stowers, was moved out because, well, I guess there was a personality conflict to a degree. He had a record of 51-23.
It's difficult to replace a head coach when you have a lot of success when you're in a winning program with a winning coach. But they made the change, and so far, they've had great success with it. Last week, they won the football game. This week, they're in it with the Florida Gators.
They trail 14-7, looking at 1st and 10 at their own 44-yard line, but the first quarter has now come to an end. Kenneth Robinson heads to the sideline. He's impressed everybody. We'll be back with second quarter action. Coming right up.
The world of Makita design. Innovating. Always a leader. So how do you make the best even better? Throw away the key. Makita. It's all the power you need. For a limited time, receive a free extra battery with your Makita purchase.
Now we are 3. First National Bank of Effingham joins First Banking Company of Southeast Georgia, the area's first family of community bankers, offering small bank first name service with big bank products and resources. How can our family help yours? First Banking Company of Southeast Georgia, First Bullock Bank, Metter Banking Company, and now First National Bank of Effingham.
First Banking Company of Southeast Georgia.
South, grinding out a fall sports lineup that rocks in September. College football explodes onto the national scene. The Pigskin Assault starts with live action from the SEC, the ACC, the Pac-10, and the Big 12. Next up, there's live Atlanta Braves baseball. And before the game, catch the Honda Braves report. Finally, don't miss SEC TV Weekly and ACC Sports Sunday, September on Sports South.
The Florida Gators 14-7 over Georgia Southern on our SEC TV broadcast of the week. Steve Martin along with Mark May and Dave Neal. Florida field. We're looking at 1st and 10. Georgia Southern with the ball, trailing by a touchdown. Kenneth Robinson out to Steverson. That's Tobias Stevenson, complete at the 45-yard line, and he barely gets back to the line of scrimmage, so it's a gain of about a yard on the play. Anthony Watt is in on the tackle. What we've seen so far this afternoon is a Florida team that has struck quickly. In 3 plays, they got downfield and opened up with the touchdown. But we've seen a Georgia Southern team that is taking its time, enjoying success against the Florida defense, and is chewing up real estate and clock time. 2nd down and 9. Robinson is back and sacked for the first time today. It was blown dead, however. James Bates is in on the tackle. Javon Curse and Willie Rogers, junior out of Miami.
What Florida does is they rush 2 from the outside. There's only one backer and the fullback, one blocking back and the fullback to block these guys. He's going to split them. He's going to split the seam right there. He's going to miss both of them. Both of them come free and sack the quarterback. These are some of the things that Bob Stoops, the defensive coordinator, is going to do to change things, to break the rhythm of this Georgia Southern offense.
3rd down and 15. This is the worst down and distance situation that Georgia Southern's faced today. 3 wide outs, obvious pass situation, and that's why Robinson will run. but he won't run far. Cameron Davis, the senior from Lauderhill, Florida, comes in to make the stop. No gain, and the punting unit is on, and the noise is back at Florida Field.
The noise is back, and so is the Florida defense. The last two plays, they finally played up to their abilities. They stop them in the last play. In this play, they play solid defense, even though it was a quarterback draw. They know on third down to watch quarterback Kenny Robinson. He's got a chance to run the ball, and he will run the ball.
Kenny Warrup saw the teeth of a strong rush and got off a 29-yarder last time. Jacquez Green is back to get it. He gets off a beautiful punt this time. Fair catch called for, but he touched it. Ooh, danger with Lott pouncing on the ball at the 23-yard line. It's a 41-yard kick by Kenny Warrup. Down by Anthony Lott after Jacquez Green called for the ball on the fair catch but missed.
In this series, it'll be interesting to see if Steve Spurrier will go to the airways again with Danny Wuerffel. They've had great success with it. They haven't put enough pressure on the quarterback, this Georgia Southern defense. They're going to have to combat Danny Wuerffel, because if he gets 5, 4, 6, 7, whatever seconds to throw that football, he's going to be successful.
1st and 10. Handoff, and it goes to Terry Jackson, who scored Florida's last touchdown. And Jackson has some running room from the 23 all the way out to the 31-yard line. It is a gain on the play of 8, and Edward Thomas comes in on the tackle.
Florida has success on running on 1st down. Here they do it again. They run to the left side. It's just a simple outside play, but he gets great blocking from everyone on the offense, including their fullbacks. These running backs, when they play together, they block for one another. They like one another, and that's why that play was successful.
2nd down and 1. It's a free down for Danny Wuerffel. Florida will throw. The pass complete to Ike Hilliard. Hilliard jukes his way to midfield, a yard shy of it. Travis Taylor has to make the stop. It's a 17-yard gain to Ike Hilliard.
And Ike Hilliard, one of the best receivers in the nation, gets open behind the zone and finds a little pocket. Here you're going to see him. He just runs this route and finds a little pocket and just hangs in there and waits. Where's the quarterback? Here's the ball. He's waiting on the ball. Outstanding coordination between wide receiver and quarterback.
1st down. Here's Terry Jackson again, dancing through defenders and on his way. And he's brought down by Cassie Harvey. A saving tackle at the 20-yard line after a 32-yard gain by Terry Jackson.
And this is a play where you just see Florida start to manhandle the Georgia Southern defense. Watch the blocks downfield and the moves by the running back, bullying over defenders, running downfield, heading towards the end zone. Just power by the Florida offense. Simple power. Here you're going to see the right guard playing to the left, cleaning out the hole for the running back. That's what you want to see. You don't want your running back touched until he's past the line of scrimmage.
1st and 10 is a 24 wide out for Danny Wuerffel. Wuerffel back, pressure is on, and he's dropped down by Travis Taylor. 5th-year senior from Hardyville, South Carolina, drops Wuerffel for the 2nd time this afternoon for an 8-yard loss to the 28.
The Georgia Southern defense smelled out this play on 1st down. Florida's gone with a run on 1st down the past 3 series. This time they go to the pass. They get close to the red area. It doesn't fool Georgia Southern. They blitz Danny Wuerffel, and they come up with a big play, the sack.
Split twins to the wide side of the field. That'll be Anthony and Green. The setback is Terry Jackson. Hilliard and McGriff to the top side of the field. Again, that 4 wide out formation, and a timeout called by Georgia Southern brings Wuerffel to the sidelines. So we'll take a timeout as well with 11:20 left to go in this 1st half. It's Florida 14, Georgia Southern 7.
Looking for a little action? We've got what you're looking for. Jeep Cherokee with an action-packed 190 horsepower engine, driver's airbag, quadrillink suspension, automatic, no-charge air, AM/FM stereo, and more. And if you're looking for an action figure, we've got that too. Now lease a Jeep Cherokee for just $252 a month. Battery included, no assembly required.
See your local Jeep and Eagle dealer.
After this season, the Braves will be leaving Atlanta Fulton County Stadium with memories of home runs and championships. But some will be taking with them a little bit more.
Schmaltzy, what are you doing here? Bobby, I'm not leaving without my lucky dirt.
Order an authentic piece of the Braves pitcher's mound for only $4.99 at any participating Pizza Hut, the home of the Braves.
Magic, I tell you. Just keep digging.
Pizza Hut. You'll love the stuff we're made of.
Hey, look. in your house, adrift in every room. Dust, viruses, and allergens, microparticle airborne invaders rampaging through your house, passing through an ordinary filter again and again. But with a Filtrete filter from 3M, you can take control. A Filtrete filter removes microparticles better than ordinary filters. 35 times better. Defend your airspace with Filtrete filters. One more example of 3M innovation.
Babonzito. Oh, parce que me voulait faire jeune gens, même journée là.
Language. It's how we communicate with each other. But not all of us speak the same one. So at Bell South, we have people you can reach who speak several languages, whether it's Creole or even English.
I'm so glad you have me good.
Bell South, it's all here.
Good look at the Century Tower here at Gainesville, campus of the University of Florida, on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. The Gators trying to build on a 14-7 lead. They are 2nd and 18 from the Georgia Southern 28-yard line. Danny Werfel has 3 wideouts in this particular play with Terry Jackson in back. Werfel over the middle, incomplete, and deflected on the play by Cloyce Williams, the inside linebacker. Let's go to the sidelines and Dave Neal. He's got a special guest.
Thanks, Steve. There have been plenty of famous Gators coming out of this program over the past few years, but one of the most famous happens to be this man, Neal Anderson, a Gator here from 82 to 85, and you played Chicago for a long time as well. Neal, what brings you back to Gainesville?
We have a technical problem on the sideline. I'll be anxious to find out what Neal Anderson's doing here in Gainesville. 2nd down, coming up in 12 for Florida. Pass is complete. And down to the 13-yard line, it goes to the tight end, and that is going to be Terrace Ross. Ross making the pass reception after Danny Werfel missed his first pass of the afternoon, down to the 12-yard line, where Florida is just a yard shy of the first down. Third down now coming up in about 2. Handoff goes to Terry Jackson. Jackson, touchdown.
An outstanding job by Terry Jackson. When you look at the blocking on this play, everything goes to the left. It's a little misdirection. Look at the blocking to the left. He takes it to the right, and a tremendous run. He sees daylight, he takes it. That's what you want in a good back. If they see it, take it, and on that play, he took it.
Third down play from the 12-yard line results in Terry Jackson's 2nd touchdown of the day. Good numbers, great average of 15 yards. Included in there is a 32-yard carry, and 2 scores on the afternoon. Bart Edmonston is on to kick the point after out of the hold of Matt Teague as Florida looks to build on that lead. It is good. And the Florida Gators, with 10:38 left to go in the first half of play, have widened the gap to 2 touchdowns.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson. To celebrate the success of your Atlanta Braves, I've got a great opportunity for you to be a part of exciting Braves baseball on Sports South. For a limited time, you can own official Braves Sports South apparel sold exclusively here on Sports South.
This sweatshirt proudly displays the Braves logo with the Sports South Network logo on the arm. Made by Champion, this exclusive Braves blue sweatshirt is available for just $39.99. Call 1-800-714-1195 to order. And how about this Braves Sports South baseball cap? You've seen Braves hats, but none of them have the Sports South logo on the back. It's just $13.99. One size fits all. Purchase both the sweatshirt and cap, and we'll include this World Championship pin from Balfour absolutely free. This beautiful pewter and gold-plated pin is valued at $10. Visa, MasterCard, and American Express, as well as personal checks, are accepted, so call 1-800-714-1195.
At Life College, we challenge your ambition to be the best you can be and achieve the most out of life. Our students have the attitude that they can achieve their goals. They develop their aptitude by a total commitment to the pursuit of excellence in all they do. We see to this.
Big jobs need big muscle, we thought, so we built an engine with the power of 10 cylinders. A V6 should have V8 power, we thought, so we designed a multi-valve V6. A car should be as quick as it looks, we thought, so we built an engine that pounds out 450 horsepower. In fact, we spent so much time thinking about engines, you can almost hear the wheels turning. The new Dodge.
Terry Jackson already with 2 scores this afternoon to give Florida a 21-7 lead over the Eagles of Georgia Southern. Matt Teague getting set to kick it away. Earthwind Moreland and Corey Joyner set to receive. Joyner chases this down at the 8. Reverses field and stays at the 8. On the tackle, Eugene McCaslin makes the stop for the Florida Gators as the defense takes the field. Let's look at the touchdown again.
On this touchdown, the play is designed to go to the left. The blocking goes to the left. He just cuts the ball back and sees a ton of daylight and just overruns the pursuit, and he goes in for the touchdown untouched.
And Danny Werfel, of course, I called one of his passes incomplete, but actually it was nullified by a penalty, so he's still perfect on the day. 108 yards.
On the kicking team, it'll be a re-kick.
And an offsides against Florida, so Florida will have to kick it over again, and Georgia Southern wisely will get another crack at it. These two teams are in a remarkable parallel, really, when you think of it, Mark. Both teams have an off week next week. Both teams coming off wins, but they weren't happy about their wins. And both teams facing the games of the season the next time they take the field on the 21st.
And I think both of these teams are happy they've got next week off. One, Florida's happy because they've got Tennessee coming up, and that could be the game of the season for this Gator team because they're shooting for a national championship, and so is Tennessee. On the other side of the coin, Georgia Southern, with a week off, you can get healthy, you can get rested. When you play a big team, a 1A team like Florida, you're going to need that extra week's rest after this one.
And in 2 weeks, they'll be taking on the team that has really ruled Division I AA and kind of taken the edge in 1AA away from Georgia Southern, the Marshall Thundering Herd. So they'll greet them at Statesboro, Georgia. Matt Teague getting set to kick it away. 10.5 to play here in the first half. This is Earthwind Moreland with it at the 15. And Moreland gets the return about 9 yards out to the 24-yard line. Jerome Evans in on the tackle. Tune in to see SEC TV next Saturday. Dave Neal will be at the University of South Carolina, bringing you the most comprehensive look at SEC football on the SEC Barnstorm. We'll also have a report on the Florida women's soccer team, a team that had an impressive win yesterday over 9th-ranked Virginia. That's all Saturday at 10 Eastern, right here, where you're watching right now. Kenneth Robinson to the line, the junior from Concord, North Carolina, having success, but sees his team 2 touchdowns back. Roderick Russell is his fullback and gets the carry on first down, and Russell, who scored Georgia Southern's only touchdown, returns it out to the 40-yard line, a gain of 16 before Shea Showers comes in for the stop.
Look at the blocking by the offensive line. Just getting a push on the Florida defense. The fullback hits a crease right in the center of the field. There's no Florida defenders around him in the middle of the football field. They've got to stop that. Bob Stoops has to get somebody in the middle of that football field to hit that gap, that A and B gap off the center, to stop Georgia Southern from running that football field in the middle.
Steverson and Cunningham are the slapbacks. Big problem there, and going for the score is Cameron Davis. And the defense has done it again. A 38-yard return of the fumble.
He was Houdini on this play. He just took it away from the running back. They scored 4 times on defense last week. They score again this week. This is a great ball-hawking defense. These guys go for the football. They're out there grabbing for the football, trying to make a big play. Here you got kind of see there's confusion between the quarterback and fullback. The ball's tipped in the air, catches it in the air, goes straight down the football field for the score for Florida. That's their 5th scoring touchdown. The ball pops out right into his hands. Look what I got. It's like hitting the lottery. Nothing you can do about that by the Georgia Southern offense. It's a turnover. You got to hold on to the football. But Florida capitalized on the Georgia Southern mistake.
Cameron Davis, who served out a 1-game suspension, missing last week, his first game of the season, and he's made it a memorable one. The 5th turnover converted to touchdown by Florida. And they've already, by 5 times, increased their production defensively.
Whatever they gave Bob Stoops to leave Kansas State, they ought to give him another bonus after that. If they can continue to score on defense like this, this may be one of the best football teams in America because they can score on offense, defense, and special teams. And not just like an average football team, they can do it with the best teams in the country.
Every play they're on the field, they're a threat to put it in the end zone. Bart Edmonston is getting set to kick out of the hold of Matt Teague, and we've got all kinds of movement down there along the line of scrimmage. And now apparently a celebration penalty has been called against Florida. It'll be marked off on the kickoff. That's what a lot of the controversy has been. Steve Spurrier looking on. He's seen his defense turn the trick again. His offense has performed well. They've cashed in every time they've had it. Across the sideline, Georgia Southern knew they were realistic about this football game. They know why they're here. They're here because it's a big boost to the program, both morale-wise.
On the defense, he has the distance penalty, the re-kick.
And it's also a big bonus to them financially, to tell you the truth. They get a nice stipend for playing here. Texas El Paso was supposed to fill this date, but canceled out, and Georgia Southern was able to move their schedule around and get here. Edmonston with the kick, and it is good. And the Florida Gators increase the lead to 28-7, and the defense does the trick. Cameron Davis. Davis tapes a dime that he found on his high school field to his ankle prior to every game, and it was good luck that time because he was in the right spot at the right time when that ball popped loose from Roderick Russell.
And players are superstitious. I used to do some crazy things when I played for good luck, and players tape dimes to their ankles. They take pictures of their kids or their parents to their ankles, and just something to keep you motivated on the football field. It keeps you concentrating on what you're doing out there. This guy with a dime taped to his ankle, maybe you should put a nickel on the other ankle because a play like that, that is a big play. That's what you want from your defense. The offense appreciates that because you're a big old offensive lineman. It's 95 degrees on that field, and you got 30 pounds of pads on. When you see your defense score, you just say, I get another 5 minutes break.
You look at what Georgia Southern's accomplished. Last week in the second quarter was the big quarter 2 for Florida as they outscored Southwest Louisiana. Georgia Southern has accomplished, they've kept Florida's defense on the field a long time. So that's a big boost, obviously, for Florida to come back and score. And score quickly off their defense. Their defense will be back on the field again after Mac Teague kicks this one away. Travis Taylor is back deep. And along with him is Earthwind Moreland. Teague. Moreland back to the 10-yard line. Escapes one tackle. Has a nice return out to the 41-yard line. Nice 31-yard return. Tackle made on the play by Eugene McCaslin, his second special teams tackle of the afternoon, and Georgia Southern will start right there. Look at the time of possession. This is how long Florida's defense has been on the football field.
The Georgia Southern offense with that flex bone offense is confusing the Florida defense. And as long as they can keep their defense off the field and the Florida offense off the field, they feel that that's less opportunity for the Florida offense to score and put points on the board. But in the other turn, Florida offense can score in 3 plays as they did in the first series.
Roderick Russell is the fullback. In motion, Steverson. Little misdirection on the counter here by Kenneth Robinson, and he tucks it under at the 44-yard line for a gain of 3. Johnny Rutledge from Belglade, Florida, the sophomore defensive end, making sure that the play stops right there. Actually, he's the linebacker on the weak side of the formation, and it came back to the weak side after they set everything up strong and then came back. Second down and 7, all at the 44. Bing and Belzer are split wide. Here comes Joyner on the toss. Sweeps to the corner, and second effort gets him over the 46-yard line to the 47. Johnny Rutledge, Anton Lott is in on the tackle, as well as Teddy Sims.
Look at the hit by the defense, swarming to the football. What enables this play to go to the outside is the defensive tackles of Florida are lining up tight on the guards, which makes the quarterback fake it to the fullback and pitch the ball outside. They can't run that fullback up the middle when those defensive tackles pinch in the middle and line up tight to the center. Here you'll see them. They're tight in the center. Watch the quarterback take a big hit. Boom! Right there by big number 98. Puts the lasso on him. When you hit the quarterback in that situation, he's got to throw the football.
Nothing doing up the middle of the field for Kenneth Robinson. He's going to be shy of making the line of scrimmage. He needed 5 for the first down, and he'll be 4th down and 5 from the 46-yard line with 8:13 left to go here in the first half. 28-7 the score. Florida Gators leading the Georgia Southern Eagles, and the punting unit is on the field. Kenny Warup is going to get another chance at this one. He got a nice 41-yarder with lots of hang time, 38-yarder last time around. Green is back to get it. High snap. It takes a Georgia Southern bounce, and they'll let it roll down inside the 10-yard line to the 9. So near disaster turns into quite a benefit for the Georgia Southern defense. They backed Danny Werfel and company up on a 45-yard punt. Danny Werfel's still in the game, and we're not surprised to see him in the game. After last week and after all that Steve Spurrier talked about, his offense needing to get in gear, they've got an awful important game in 2 weeks.
Well, the game in 2 weeks is very important, but the game today is just as important and more because the first-team offense from Florida is having a tremendous amount of success today. That's what head coach Steve Spurrier wanted. He wanted his quarterback, Danny Werfel, to stay in there and make this offense run to the way that he wants it running. He is doing it today.
Nobody in the backfield. That's 4 wide outs, including Elijah Williams on 1st and 10. Florida going to the air on 1st down. Big rush is on. Danny Werfel running to the sidelines, but chasing him down at the 19-yard line is going to be Josh Smithers, a redshirt freshman from Sarasota, Florida, who has picked up his first tackle of his college career.
You wouldn't think such a prolific passer as Danny Werfel would run the ball. Well, last week he had 2 rushes, 30 yards, a 15-yard average. If I'm an offensive coordinator, I'll take that any time against any defense from my quarterback.
Florida working from their own 18-yard line. It's a gain of 9. It's 2nd and 1. Florida usually throws in this situation. 2nd and less than 3. Over the middle, it is complete to Williams. Williams eludes Williams on the tackle. Chloe Williams gets out to the 40-yard line. And again, Cossie Harvey is in on the stop. It's a 21-yard gain. Hal Carter Jr. also in on the play.
What Florida does at 2nd and 1, they're going to take a shot downfield because they're confident they can get 1 yard on 3rd yard. Here you're going to see it. The running back, Elijah Williams, gets in this underneath zone because the defenders are dropping back. It's just pitch and catch. He catches the ball for the 1st down.
Werfel brings him out 1st and 10 at his own 40-yard line. Big rush is on. 4-man rush. Screen pass right up ahead to Elijah Williams. A little shovel dump is good to the 40-yard line. Gain on the play of 20. The tackle by Hal Carter Jr.
This is a tough play to defend. The quick screen. When you get the defenders rushing upfield, there's only 4 rushers. What you do as an offensive lineman, you give them one little touch and let them go by you. Let them go right by you. Push them by you. The quarterback dumps it off to Elijah Williams. You've got 4 blockers going downfield, getting blocks downfield, and you pick up big chunks of yardage with that quick middle screen.
A lot of diversity in this drive for Florida. Elijah Williams, a lone setback. 3 wide outs. Now 5 wide receivers technically in this play. Werfel throws, quick screen inside. Jaquez Green, and Green is down to the 30-yard line. Ed Thomas brings him down. It's a gain on the play of 9. We have a flag on the play, however, right at the point where he went down. And it's a hold against Florida.
On a quick play like that, you're surprised there's a holding call. What Florida's doing, it's a cat and mouse game now. Danny Werfel's looking at the defense. The defense is walking safeties up, corners up, walking them back. He's standing on the line of scrimmage, and he's reading the defense and calling audibles and killing them.
Be a 10-yard penalty, still 1st down.
Block in the back.
Danny Werfel's a tough customer. Watch him in the pocket. Takes a late hit right in the back. That should be a penalty. You don't hit the quarterback in the back after the ball's been thrown, but he's a tough competitor. Stands in the pocket, does his job.
I'll remember that sometime from Cloyce Williams. 1st and 10. Florida to throw. Werfel over midfield. It is complete to Ike Hilliard. His 3rd reception of the day inside the 20-yard line. A gain of 22 to the 19. Josh Smithers and Eric Thigpen catch up with him.
Good composure by the offense. Georgia Southern's rushing 5. They go with an odd defense. They cover the center. They rush 5. They blitz 2 off the outside. Great composure by Werfel, stepping up in the pocket, throws the ball downfield. You can't ask anything more than that from your offense.
3rd pass completion of 20 or more in this drive. All the different receivers. 1st and 10. Griff and Richardson join the wideouts now for Werfel. He is complete to Travis McGriff, and McGriff has got a 1st down. They'll mark him out at the 8-yard line. Gain of 11. Travis Taylor in on the tackle. Travis McGriff, the sophomore from Gainesville, Florida, had 4 passes a week ago against Southwest Louisiana. Now has given his team a 1st down. 1st and 10 inside the 9. Richardson, Anthony, McGriff, and Hilliard, the 4 wideouts. Elijah Williams alone set that. 28-7. Florida looking to tack more on here. Elijah Williams, big hole, headed for pay dirt. Did he get in? No, they're going to mark him down at the 1. Edward Thomas helped on the stop.
What Florida's been able to do this series is go with a no-huddle offense. The offensive linemen are lining up right on the line of scrimmage. Danny Werfel's coming back, looking to the sidelines, getting to play. Here's a quick hitter up the middle with Elijah Williams. Straight ahead blocking. He's catching this defense off guard.
Mobley and Williams the setbacks. Here is Williams. Touchdown, Florida.
That drive was a perfect clinic by quarterback Danny Werfel and the offense of the Florida Gators. They went down the field systematically by running the ball, throwing the ball, spreading the ball around on passes to keep everybody happy. Here you're just going to see him powered in on the left side. Look at big number 51. Ryan Kalick just pushing the defender in the end zone, and Elijah Williams just powers it right in for the score for the Gators.
Bart Edmondson in to kick what will constitute his 5th consecutive point after and 12th of the season, as the Florida Gators have a 34-7 lead on Georgia Southern with 4:52 left to go here in the 1st half. Out of the hold of Teague. Kick is up, and it is good. So Florida drives from their own 18-yard line. 3 big passes. 1 to Ike Hilliard of 21, and Williams for the run for the score.
Your sister said the Accord is the #1 retail selling car in America. I'm going to wait, you said. Your uncle said 3 Accord models were each named a best overall value in their class. I'm in no rush, you said. Then you made your move, the Honda 96 clearance. Your mother said, he's definitely got my brains. Timing is everything at your Honda dealer.
Now we are 3. First National Bank of Effingham joins First Banking Company of Southeast Georgia, the area's first family of community bankers, offering small bank first name service with big bank products and resources. How can our family help yours? First Banking Company of Southeast Georgia, First Bullock Bank, Metter Banking Company, and now First National Bank of Effingham.
First Banking Company of Southeast Georgia.
the conference roundup of the ACC, ACC Sports Sunday, the show that provides the facts, the figures, and a complete review of the weekly sporting events. It's ACC Sports Sunday, Sunday nights on Sports South.
Keep watching the Braves all season, right here on Sports South.
It could be a slugfest at Coors Field when the Braves try to top the Rockies. It's the stretch run toward the playoffs. Live this Wednesday night on Sports South.
Elijah Williams with his 12th career touchdown gives Florida a huge lead now, 35-7. This is indeed Gator country, and they've emphasized that fact at Georgia Southern here this afternoon. Then Hill-Griffin Stadium, Florida Field. Matt Teague's kickoff, fielded by Corey Joyner, 4 yards deep. He'll not bring it out. And Georgia Southern will start this drive from the 20-yard line. Florida's offense has produced each time it's touched the football, and its defense has produced as well. Its 5th touchdown by a defensive turnover this season. Steve Spurrier, if this trend keeps up, will be in a much better mood for the off week next week.
Looks like they won't be running extra wind sprints on Monday this week, as they did last week. By the production of the offense, their poor performance enticed the head coach to make him stay after to run some extra wind sprints.
And the offense has finally outscored the defense. But we're not done yet. Kenny Robinson, the late pitch against penetration, goes to Steverson, and he's got room. Steverson driven out of bounds by Demetric Jackson, but it's a 29-yard gain, and it is the biggest play of the afternoon for Georgia Southern in terms of yards gained. We have a player down, and that is a Georgia lineman, and that is McDonald Ferguson.
You look at the quarterback, Kenny Robinson. He takes a lick but keeps on ticking. He pitches the ball right at the last distance to Tobias Stevenson, and he just heads down the sidelines.
Tobias Stevenson carried the ball 4 times a week ago. Let's look at the injury now for Florida's McDonald Ferguson. And he is hurt on the field.
Appears he's got the wind knocked out of him, Steve. Usually when they pick your knees up when you're laying on your back like that, you get the wind or the air knocked out of you. I think he'll be all right. Florida cannot afford to lose too many defensive linemen. They've already got one defensive lineman out, and they can't afford to lose another one. Reggie McGraw is already out with a little knee sprain or a bruised knee, and he'll be back later. But you hate to see injuries in any arena of football or any arena of sports, but he's up walking it off. I think he'll be all right. You'll see him later on in the ball game.
Let's take a look at it again. Bottom of your screen, you see number 99, lower left.
Right there, he's getting good penetration, going down the line of scrimmage, and it looks like it's the center that comes off his block, gets him in the ribs a little bit, possibly knocks the wind out of him.
Let us not forget, though, a 29-yard gain has just taken place for Georgia Southern, and they're set up at midfield. Carl Small is the fullback. He gets the handoff from Kenneth Robinson, and he's over the 50-yard line into Florida territory at the 47 or 48. Johnny Rutledge made a lot of stops this afternoon, gets in on the tackle.
You've got to respect the Florida offense, Steve. In this situation, they're doing exactly what they want to do. They're moving the football on the ground. They're staying to their game plan, and that's what they've been doing all day. They're running the ball with the fullback up the middle. They've had good success with that, and they've had great success getting to the outside and pitching the ball. So they put in some yards up. Last week, they had 340 yards on the ground.
The South Carolina State team that by Division I AA standards is usually pretty good. 2nd down and 7. Robinson to throw, has a man open, and that is Maurice Bing, and that is his 3rd catch of the day. Down to the 33-yard line, a 14-yard gain. The crowd oohing and ahhing at a late hit. Shea Showers in on the tackle.
Those aren't late hits. Those are the big offensive linemen breaking on the ball, picking off those little defenders downfield. I love it. That's outstanding hustle by the offensive line. Here, the Georgia Southern split end, Maurice Bing. He is on a great working relationship with quarterback Kenny Robinson. Doing a tremendous job between these two. They've got to go back to this well a little more.
Well, they go to Carl Small. And Johnny Rutledge picks up his 7th tackle, but we have a flag on the play at the 30-yard line, and it could nullify this 5-yard gain. And it will. It's a holding call.
I'm not saying this happens all the time, but sometimes these things balance out. When you get a lineman cherry picking downfield and knocking off one of the little defenders and the official doesn't see it, the next play, sometimes there's a little holding call in there.
We have holdings on the offense, the 10-yard penalty, repeat the down.
Back when I played with the Redskins, Stark was 74 and I was 73, and every time there's a holding call on me, I'd run to the official. It wasn't me, it was 74, it was Stark. I got him one day in Green Bay. The official said, holding 74.
You know, as a lineman, I mean, that's the only time you get recognized, is in, you know, they turn on the microphone in the pros, and there's a number 74, and it's for all of America to see. If everybody else makes a mistake, you don't hear about it. All right, first down and 20. 10-yard penalty marched off. Robinson pitches to Joyner, blocking the setup, but Javon Curse said, and he throws him for a loss of 5 back to the 46-yard line. Javon Curse has had his share of tackles, most improved out of spring.
You're going to see at the top of your screen, after this ball is pitched, right here, Javon Curse just sheds the block of the offensive blocker right there, throws him to the side, just dish rags him, and goes into the backfield and makes the stop on number 1, Corey Jr.
It's going to be second and long yardage, about 19, as the ball is set up at the 46-yard line of Florida. Georgia Southern trailing here 35-7. I talked to their coaches. I talked to Tommy Spangler and Daryl Dickey, who is their offensive coordinator, and the words that kept coming out of their mouths repeatedly: we've got to be realistic. Realistic of what we can accomplish against a team that is as good as the Florida Gators. And I think they've been pretty realistic. They've stuck to their game plan. They're not a team that's going to throw the ball up and down the field, even though they're behind 35-7.
Well, I think when you look at the score, you say these guys are intimidated. This big crowd's not intimidating these guys. The Gators aren't. They've been very productive on offense, doing what they want to do, running the football. That's what they do best.
Let's go to the sidelines, and Dave Neal gives us an idea of what we can expect at halftime.
That's exactly right, Steve. Coming up at halftime, we will talk to Florida Athletic Director Jeremy Foley about this wonderful athletic program that he has developed over the years here at the University of Florida. And we'll also have a lengthy look at Danny Wuerffel. He's more than just a great quarterback for this Florida Gator football team. He's also a great person. It's a story you won't want to miss. So stay with us at halftime as we continue on SEC TV. But right now, let's go upstairs.
How many records has Danny Wuerffel thrown for? 28 records all told, 2 NCAA. And as Dave Neal said, he is an outstanding individual. Look at the records that he's held. 300-yard games, he's had 9 of them. 2 400-yard games. His pass efficiency legendary. Here is Roderick Russell, and he's been somewhat legendary up through the middle. The fullback game has worked, and he is close to a first down. Brought down on the tackle by Demetric Jackson. It's a 13-yard gain.
Georgia Southern offensive coaches have to be pleased with what they're accomplishing with the fullback up the middle. This is what they wanted to do. They wanted to hit the fullback right up the middle, and Roderick Russell, they've had tremendous success with that today. They're accomplishing some things that they want to accomplish. When you look at a team like the Florida Gators, you're a tremendous underdog coming in. You want to accomplish specific things coming out of this game, and that's one thing they can hang their head on no matter what happens in this ball game, saying that we were able to run the ball in the Florida Gators.
And that troubles Steve Spurrier as he looks at an off week and sees an opponent like Tennessee coming up. And Danny Wuerffel, the subject of our halftime interview, of course, with the score 35-7, you wonder how long Wuerffel will stay in the football game. Many people said no matter what the situation, we'll see Wuerffel for 3 quarters tonight.
Well, I think he wants to get work not only out of Danny Wuerffel, but off the entire offense. He wants these guys to play together to get some continuity.
He has not missed an aerial today. Of course, both quarterbacks have been perfect on the afternoon. Kenneth Robinson has been very impressive, and you can see why Georgia Southern's football program is so very competitive in 1AA. For the longest time, they abandoned football, abandoned all sports in 1941 at Georgia Southern due to World War II and never picked it up again. They picked up football back in '82, and they have owned things. Look at this, 35-18-1 in September. 8 Division I AA playoff appearances and 4 championships. And they have the ball, 3rd down and 9 at the Florida 32. And Cunningham gets to the corner and almost broke it down to the 31-yard line. Demetric Jackson with back-to-back tackles. Carry by Benny Cunningham out of Fitzgerald, Georgia. He's a redshirt freshman. And there's Javon Curse. There's Cunningham.
Look at Cunningham shake his head. He's shaking his head because he tripped over the feet of Roderick Russell. He had a lot of daylight. He saw nothing but green pastures in front of him, and he saw that first down marker, and he trips over his own guy. I can see where he's a little frustrated. He's laughing to himself, saying, I know I can do better than that. Next time I get a seam like that, I'm going to take advantage of it.
This is out of Ronnie Stelmacher's range at the 31-yard line, so Georgia Southern's going for it. 35-7 Florida. Pass is complete to the tight end, and he tries to put the football ahead for the marker at the 24-yard line. That's Reggie Garland's third catch of the season and first of the afternoon, and let's see what kind of a mark he gets. Anthony Lott, a Thorpe Award candidate for the Florida Gators, made the tackle, and apparently Reggie Garland got the first down.
Reggie Garland's a little bit bigger and a little bit stronger than Anthony Lott, but Anthony Lott is a tremendous football player. He was second on the team in tackles last year, and he wraps up the big tight end, and just barely the big man gets the first down. But Anthony Lott stuck his head right in there against a bigger, stronger opponent and held his ground.
1st and 10 at the 23 of Florida. 1:38 left to go in his first half. 35-7 Gators. Robinson on the pitch. Here's the toss, and it is fumbled, picked up by Demetric Jackson at the 21-yard line. The toss was to Tobias Steele, or rather Corey Joyner. Javon Curse made the hit. Demetric Jackson picks up the fumble, the second turnover of the afternoon by Georgia Southern.
And just when you think Georgia Southern's getting something going, this is what kills you offensively, are turnovers. He pitches the ball out to Corey right here. Corey takes the ball, he gets it slapped right out of there by Kersey, the defender, and the ball spits out, and Florida comes up with yet another turnover. That's 7 in the last 2 games.
That brings Werfel out on the field. He's perfect in 16 attempts. Second turnover of the afternoon for Georgia Southern. One resulted directly in a touchdown. The other is going to kill a drive pretty effectively here. The timeout situation, Florida has 1 timeout, and Georgia Southern has 2. Ball is on the 20-yard line of Florida, and the Gators have it 1st and 10.
I wouldn't be too surprised with head coach Steve Spurrier, with only 1 minute and 27 seconds with a 28-point lead, they don't decide to go for it. They don't put the ball in the air in the series.
Evans and Williams. Back to throw. Werfel upfield and intended there for Jacquez Green, but it is going to be incomplete. His first incompletion of the day in 17 attempts.
Danny Werfel just overthrows the ball. It's a play action pass. They go right down the middle of the football field, lofting that ball out for Jacquez Green, and it's a tremendous job by the offensive line. When you go and play action on first down, you know you've got to hold your blocks, you've got to stay level, you've got to stay square, but they gave him a lot of time to throw this football, and he just heaves it out about 40 yards.
Second down coming up in 10 from the 20-yard line. Here's Werfel back to throw again. Has time. That was a perfect strike to Riedel Anthony. Anthony over midfield, brought down by Kasi Harvey at the 49-yard line. It's a gain of 30.
Another play-action pass by the offense. Danny Werfel's over 200 yards with this pass, and he gets great protection again. They've got to blitz Danny Werfel. They can't let him sit back and pick apart the defense. The wide receiver in this instance is wide open. Riddell Anthony, there was no one around him.
We've got offsides on the defense. They refuse. First down.
So Danny Werfel over 200 yards with his 221st yard of the day, and he sits second among all Florida quarterbacks for 200 yards passing, right behind Shane Matthews and well ahead of his coach, Steve Spurrier. 1st and 10, the penalty decline. Final minute of play here in this first half. Big rush on Edward Thomas. And Austin is there on the tackle.
And that's how the defense can come up with a big play. Put pressure on Danny Werfel at quarterback. They do it with Edward Thomas. He lines up at middle linebacker. He lines down in a 3-point stance on passing situations. He is their best pass rusher. You're going to see at the top of the screen, he whips the left tackle, comes around him, and sacks quarterback Danny Werfel. He's their best sacker. They've got to have him in there. They need to line him up more on the defensive line. Get him off of lining up off the ball as a linebacker. You'll see him on the left of the screen. Just use his hands hand slaps, and hustle to get around that offensive left tackle and get to the quarterback.
Third sack of the day for the Georgia Southern defense, and the second of the afternoon for Edward Thomas. Florida has used their last timeout with 48 seconds left to go. There's Tommy Spangler, the defensive backfield coach and the defensive coordinator for Georgia Southern, barking out the instructions to his defense. They want to try to, they know what Florida's going to do. They know they want to get vertical on them, and just a question of trying to stop them. There's so many weapons. This Florida offense, 35 points. They've scored 4 of their 5 touchdowns today. And here comes Wuerffel to bring them out again. Got Terry Jackson in the backfield, McGriff, Anthony, Hilliard, and Green are his wideouts. 4 wideouts in the pattern. The shovel pass to Jackson, but Georgia Southern will have nothing of it. Derek Reeves, junior out of Augusta, Georgia, in on the tackle, and there's no gain on the play.
Gators went to that quick screen again, but the defensive lineman, Derek Reed, he read it. He smelled it out. He was right there to stop that play in the backfield for a loss.
Third down and 19. Ball on the 42. Florida leading 35-7. Pass is complete to Hilliard. What a catch by Hilliard. He's shy of the first down, however, at the 41 of Georgia Southern. It'll be 4th and about 1 with 9 seconds left to go. Florida may not be able to get another play off. Wuerffel scrambles them to the ball. They're out of timeouts, and that'll do it. The first half has come to an end with Florida trying to set up for a half-ending touchdown, but they could not do it as time runs out on the Florida Gators here at halftime. But all in all, you got to think that Florida's got to be pretty happy, and Steve Spurrier's got to be happy with what he's seen so far in the first half, especially from his offense. Wuerffel has only missed on 1 connection of the day. The defense has continued where they left off.
Well, he's got to be happy with both sides of the football, but I'll tell you what, these Florida fans are tough. They're up 35-7, and they're booing because the offense can't get together and get another score before halftime.
Now, they had 4th and 1, and Wuerffel tried to get them over the football in time, but just couldn't get them organized in time to do it because it was a rather long, drawn-out play, and so the clock ran out on the Florida Gators without a timeout.
And Steve Spurrier's a perfectionist. He's the type of guy.
Let's go down to Dave Neal, who's got Steve Spurrier on the sidelines. So we apologize. We have lost the audio from our wireless mic to the sidelines. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get what Steve Spurrier had to say, but we'll get Dave Neal to tell us about it when we come back. Florida leads at 35-7 at intermission.
Does it seem as if your new grass will never grow at all? Or if it does, is it weak and pitiful? Then you need Pennington Pen-Coated Grass Seed. Pen-coated seeds are sealed with a protective coating that works as an insecticide, a fungicide, and a growth stimulant. This enables pen-coated seeds to grow stronger with a deeper root system. For a beautiful lower maintenance lawn, look for the Pen-coated logo on the bag or call 1-800-285-SEED.
The new Dodge. It's about change. The new Dodge. It's breaking rules and making new rules. The new Dodge. If we violate the laws of physics, will we be punished? The new Dodge. It's about change. The new Dodge.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson. To celebrate the success of your Atlanta Braves, I've got a great opportunity for you to be a part of exciting Braves baseball on Sports South. For a limited time, you can own official Braves Sports South apparel sold exclusively here on Sports South.
This sweatshirt proudly displays the Braves logo with the Sports South Network logo on the arm. Made by Champion, this exclusive Braves blue sweatshirt is available for just $39.99. Call 1-800-714-1195 to order. And how about this Braves Sports South baseball cap? You've seen Braves hats, but none of them had the Sports South logo on the back. It's just $13.99. One size fits all. Purchase both the sweatshirt and cap, and we'll include this World Championship pin from Balfour absolutely free. This beautiful pewter and gold-plated pin is valued at $10. Visa, MasterCard, and American Express, as well as personal checks, are accepted, so call 1-800-714-1195.
Welcome back to Florida Field, where the Florida Gators have a huge lead here on Georgia Southern, 35-7, but it's been an entertaining ball game because both teams have tasted success. Georgia Southern has to take into the locker room the fact that they've eaten up the clock here in the first half, but Florida has done what they've wanted to do offensively, and they struck very early, third play of the ball game.
Well, Georgia Southern probably isn't happy about the score, but they should be happy with some of the things they've been able to do today. That's run the football, especially up the middle between the tackles. And on defense, Edward Thomas, what can you say about this young man? He's had a tremendous half, 2 sacks against Danny Werfel. He can play with the big boys.
Let's go down to the sidelines. Our Dave Neal standing by with Florida Athletic Director Jeremy Foley.
Thanks, Steve. And down here with the athletic director of the University of Florida, Jeremy Foley. And Jeremy, first I got to commend you on the kind of product you've been able to put on the field in terms of the athletics program here at the University of Florida. It's really been phenomenal. I know last year among the elite when it comes to the overall athletic program. You feeling pretty good about where this program is headed?
Well, certainly are. I feel very good about it. We have some outstanding coaches here. They're the ones that deserve the credit. They're the ones who bring the student athletes to campus. They're the ones who put the game plan together. But, you know, we have a lot of high goals at the University of Florida. And you look at the season we had a year ago, third in the Sears Cup, all sports trophies in the Southeastern Conference. We're moving in the right direction. There's no question about it.
In terms of the product of this football team here in 1996, everybody's looking for a game a couple of weeks down the road. And you talk to the players, the coaches, they don't want to talk about it. You talk to these fans, boy, they're just chomping at the bit. Your thoughts about that? Are you chomping at the bit to get to Knoxville?
No, if you start thinking about it too much, you lose a lot of sleep, all right? So we're going to just put that in the back burner. About a week from now, it'll be very, very tight. Things will be very interesting, but those games are what it's all about. That's why you do what you do, to go play those type of ball games, everything on the line, 100,000+ people. We're excited about it. We don't want to think about it too much, as you said, because it is very an anxious time, no question about it.
Well, there will probably be some people interested in the upcoming season when it comes to men's basketball. You got a new coach here, Billy Donovan, from up north, coming down here to be a Southern boy, if you will. What can people expect from the basketball team here at Florida?
Well, I think it's going to be very exciting. Obviously, we brought Billy in here. He plays an up-tempo style of offense. You know, he knows the Southeastern Conference, having worked for Rick Pitino for 5 years. He's played in that style of offense. When we talked to Coach Pitino before we hired Billy, he said, nobody knows the offense better than Billy Donovan. So we'll get it up and down the court. They'll play very, very hard, and it'll be a lot of fun. We're excited, obviously, about Billy being on board.
Jeremy, thanks for joining us here at halftime. Congratulations on a fantastic program.
Thank you.
We're not done with halftime. Plenty more coming up, including a candid conversation with the quarterback of the Florida Gators, Danny Werfel. Stay with us as halftime activities continue from Florida Field.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson. To celebrate the success of your Atlanta Braves, I've got a great opportunity for you to be a part of exciting Braves baseball on Sports South. For a limited time, you can own official Braves Sports South apparel sold exclusively here on Sports South.
This golf shirt proudly displays the Braves logo with the Sports South Network logo on the arm. Made by Champion, this exclusive golf shirt is available for just $39.99. Call 1-800-714-1195 to order. And how about this Braves Sports South baseball cap? You've seen Braves hats, but none of them have the Sports South logo on the back. It's just $13.99. One size fits all. Purchase both the shirt and cap, and we'll include this World Championship pin from Balfour absolutely free. This beautiful pewter and gold-plated pin is valued at $10. Visa, MasterCard, and American Express, as well as personal checks, are accepted, so call 1-800-714-1195.
Does it seem as if your new grass will never grow at all? Or if it does, is it weak and pitiful? Then you need Pennington Pen-Coated Grass Seed. Pen-Coated seeds are sealed with a protective coating that works as an insecticide, a fungicide, and a growth stimulant. This enables pen-coated seeds to grow stronger with a deeper root system. For a beautiful lower maintenance lawn, look for the Pen-Coated logo on the bag or call 1-800-285-SEED.
If you're spending more time battling the trimmer line than you are battling weeds, you need Weed Wizard. Easy to install, you'll never have to buy line again. No weeds are too big. No weeds are too small. Weed Wizard cuts them all. Have a beautifully landscaped yard and never stop to adjust the line with the amazing Weed Wizard. The original Weed Wizard is available at these participating stores. For easy fit, bring your trimmer model number.
Welcome back to Florida Field as the Florida Gators are in the locker room right now discussing what they can do to improve on their 35-7 first half lead. That'll be tough to do. Well, right now it's time to take a look at the quarterback for the Florida Gators. And these Florida fans have been treated to a very special individual the past couple of years. His name is Danny Wuerffel. Sure, he set some records off the field, or on the field I should say, but it's off the field where he has really stood out. He's almost a Heisman candidate with a heart. Here's more.
When he needs to be, he is poised. When he has to be, he is productive.
And thanks in large part to that poise and production, the Florida Gators are perfect. By the end of this football season, Danny Wuerffel will most likely own all of the passing records at Florida, most of the passing records in the Southeastern Conference, and a few of the passing records in the NCAA. But to concentrate solely on the athletic ability of this remarkable young man is to miss, perhaps, the true worth he brings to his team. For where the fans and the media see a great quarterback, his teammates and coaches see a great person.
The first thing about Danny, he's an excellent quarterback. He can make all the throws and get to the right play most of the time. And, of course, his ball handling is excellent. And he's a super leader. And he's a fine young man. Nothing rattles him. I can yell and scream like I do it about everybody during the game, and Danny understands. I'm just trying to get him to play better. I'm just trying to compete over on the sideline. So he really accepts everything and just keeps on keeping on and keeps on playing, gets knocked down, gets sacked, gets back up, keeps on playing, throws an interception or fumbles occasionally. It doesn't bother him. He just keeps on playing. So he's a model of persistence. And certainly that's one of his qualities, as well as many others.
Danny Wuerffel is indeed a well-rounded young man. In addition to being a winner on the gridiron, he's a winner in the classroom as well, carrying a 3.68 GPA. So how does a guy find such resounding success at such an early age? Well, according to Danny, life as the son of an Air Force chaplain was a good start.
I think it starts from my upbringing. You know, I have a good, solid upbringing with my family, and it stems through my faith in God. And in my life, I try to be very consistent in schoolwork and my relationship with friends and girlfriend and everything. I try to be a very consistent person, and then also on the football field, you know, good and bad things happen in life and in football. And I just try to be very consistent and keep playing no matter what happens.
Danny's faith has carried him far, and he continues to be involved with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes on campus. But other than starting a Bible study class for his teammates, Danny is remarkably low-key about his beliefs, preferring instead to lead by example.
Really, it's not a big deal for me. You know, I think generally you can only play games for so long, and eventually who you are is going to come out. And I'm just who I am. I try to be the same way wherever I'm at, whatever I'm doing, whether I'm throwing a lot of touchdowns and getting a lot of publicity or not. You know, I just try to do the same things in life. And, you know, I don't think I'm overplaying or underplaying anything. You know, when I throw a touchdown, I'm thankful that God gave me the opportunity to be playing, and I want to give him thanks for that. And when I'm excited, that's one of the first things that comes to my head is to give thanks to God. So it's not anything that I'm dreaming up saying, well, let's put this image on or anything. That's just who I am. And, you know, I don't think it's overdone or underdone. That's who I am. There's different types of leaders, and I just wanted to be one that, you know, was more through actions than through talking. And, you know, throughout the games, we've been through a lot of adversity, and I just try to maintain an even keel and a calm demeanor, and, you know, hopefully the other players can feed off of that. And I think, you know, I hope that's happened. I hope I've been a positive influence on the team, and we're excited to be where we're at.
Perhaps most surprising of all has been Danny's ability to flourish under the penetrating gaze of his head coach, in a system that has not always been kind to quarterbacks.
A lot of people think he's really hard on his quarterbacks, and he's a very tough coach to play for, but, you know, I would rather play for someone that demands perfection than someone that would accept mediocrity. You know, you strive for the best, he strives to be the best, and I think he gets the best out of his players, and definitely I'm excited to be a part of that.
And most Florida Gator fans are excited that he is a part of the Gators' success as well. And when you look closely at Danny Wuerffel, it's hard to be surprised at his success. He has combined a deep-seated faith with a gracious and humble self-confidence, and as a result has learned not only how to be a great quarterback, but how to be a pretty good person as well.
I think, you know, the person you bring some character traits to the football team, and you know, that can help you be a better football player. But I think also in football you learn a lot of life values, and you know, I've had coaches throughout the years that really harp on some of these intangible things that you can take from football into your regular life. So I think it's a two-way street. You know, you can bring something with you, and then you definitely learn a lot from it. As far as I'm concerned, every goal I've had has been met. You know, personally, I've been blessed far more than I ever, you know, hoped for, and just want to do the best I can, and most importantly, to win ball games. You know, throughout the year, I think it happens to a lot of players, but I know whenever you start worrying about, well, if I could get 2 touchdowns this game, or 3 or 4, that's when you don't perform as well. So I've learned, you know, over the years, it's best to just go out, win the ball game, and let everything else take care of itself.
Danny Wuerffel, an extremely talented quarterback and an extremely talented person as well. As a matter of fact, he carries an overall GPA of 3.72. He scored a perfect 4.0 last year, and he's been on the Dean's List, presidential list, I should say, every semester that he's been here at the University of Florida. Now, while we're on the subject of academics, Steve Martin had a chance to catch up with the new provost here for the University of Florida.
Thanks, Dave. Dr. Capaldi, last week, President John Lombardi talked about making this university more student-friendly, and you've got a student tracking program that you've got going. Tell us about it.
It's a new way of advising the